I told you I'm 98% right all the time. I told you at the end of April, early May, you will have news from Square. Time has come. Square needs to talk. And boy, oh boy, has Square talked. Let it out. All the information. Oh, we're going to talk about a lot of things that has to do with a Square trying to fit in a round hole. Pause.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. We got a lot to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. We got a lot to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. So it's time to crush.
This news is brought to you by one of my favorite sites, PC Gamer, the global authority on all PC stuff. Square Enix to aggressively pursue a new multi-platform business strategy designed to win over PC users. The new plan will also include a shift from quantity to quality. The Final Fantasy developer Square Enix has announced a new business plan in which it states to intend to aggressively pursue multi-platform strategy that includes Nintendo platforms, PlayStation platforms, and my man Xbox and PCs, possibly heralding an end to the publisher's historic proprietarization. I'm telling you, that word is crazy for me. It's just buck bananas of Sony platforms. The title Square Enix reboots and awakens. The plan opens with a frank assessment of the company's previous medium-term business strategy, with which the publisher did not reach final year net sales operating income targets. This plan, which focused on expanding the company's MMO businesses and streamlining its portfolios by divesting some overseas studios and IPs, selling off its entire Western arm, including Eidos Montreal and Crystal Dynamics, struggled due to the cannibalization of our new titles due to launch and scheduling overlap and failure of some games to live up to its profit expectations. These games that have failed to live up to their profit expectations is your man Final Fantasy 16 right here and your man Final Fantasy Rebirth. Those games were only on the PlayStation 5. Look at here. What do we got here? With the new plan, Square Enix says it wants to build an environment where more customers can enjoy our titles, which essentially means it wants to release a game across more platforms quicker. In particular, Square intends to pursue initiatives designed to win over PC users, which represent a growth in the market. One wonders whether Square Enix has been watching Sony's own push towards PC and with interest, particularly the concurrent launch of Helldivers. See, the concurrent launch of Helldivers, which was day and date on the PC and the PlayStation platform, which saw Sony reap huge rewards despite doing its utmost to spawn the Helldivers community on PC. I.e., Sony told the Helldivers community, if you do not sign in using our PSN, it's Arezi. And the PC community says, up yours, because we don't care about your box. Pause. Another intriguing point is the type of game Square Enix wants to make. The plan emphasizes general shift from quantity to quality, but within that is a commitment to be bold and attempting to create new IPs, prioritizing novel forms of excitement. Also, as an aside, I do love it when business folks attempt to describe human feelings like an enjoyment. All right. Let me see. Nonetheless, this intention on focusing on new projects fascinates to hear. Blah, 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 blah. We gonna talk about this right here. More in Square news. Square Enix confirms US and EU layoffs as part of the restructuring and publishing. It and Square Enix collective indie games labels are affected the most. Square Enix will make AAA games multiplayer platform as part of its aggressive new business plan. Square Enix looks to have canceled games and is stating would be more selective in the future. Square is also set to make an unconfirmed amount of layoffs as part of an ongoing company restructuring. It told staff in internal meetings on Monday. VGC understands. I want to know why they understand. Do they understand Xbox? I don't know. We'll figure it out. The president, who was appointed as Final Fantasy's firm's new boss in June 2023, has been enacting a large-scale reorganization of Square Enix development efforts in an effort to reverse recent disappointing sales of its biggest games. In Japan, Square Enix recently promoted a new group of creators to its executive office and placed checks on producers' influence over individual projects, according to Bloomberg. Earlier today, Square Enix published a new medium-term business plan, which it revealed it intends to make its AAA games multi-platform going forward. Can I get an amen? Can I get King is always right? The plan, which publishers has dubbed Square Enix Reboots and Awakens, lays out a 3-year strategy which it hopes will lead to a long-term growth. I cannot wait to get into this topic because you know your boy has been on this. Peace and blessings and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy the King. Well, today I'm the Swami. Totally ascended one, the one that brings all the ascended rain. You feel that? You feel that? You feel the ascended powers? Yeah, I noticed at the beginning and it didn't work, so shut up. Anyway, I could edit it out, but I'm not. We're gonna go get at it. Not for nothing. If you're finding this channel right now for the first time, please take my invitation to become a member, subscribe, like, share it out. Members come with certain different perks. Every week I give away a coin and also $100 worth of free food. It's very important to me to do so, and I just wish everybody have a blessed, peaceful time during this recession that we're in. But talking about that, Square Enix came out with a couple of things today, and man, they're having a rough go at it. So their financials came out, and remember they lost 140 million in cancellation of projects and restructuring and stuff like that. So those things had to come off the books for Square. And those are projects that they invested in and didn't feel that they were going to receive whatever return off investment. And those projects had to be canceled, moved, shift, done, shelved, however you want to call it. But when I'm explaining to the port begging ponies, hashtag no PlayStation 6, you know exactly how we do it over here. I'm gonna keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. Can't stop, won't stop, no Diddy. Y'all understand that I'm keeping it a buck. Now, a lot of these port begging ponies is gonna tell you, King, you're capping when it comes to Square. And I've told you on numerous occasions, I want Microsoft a la Xbox, Microsoft Gaming, Xbox brand, Game Pass, or is it Microsoft Game Pass? I don't care as long as you don't mess with my games, bro. And don't tell me they're messing with my games with Hi-Fi Rush. They still own the IP. A lot of you goofy dudes. They're just weird. And apparently, Hi-Fi Rush Team Tango apparently isn't all gone. Anyway, what a day does. So Square comes out a couple of weeks ago and explains to you about how much money they lost. Now they come out with this midterm restructuring of businesses. Because now Square is going to act like the multiplayer, multi-console, single-player RPG, third-party developer that he's supposed to be. Third-party developer they're supposed to be. A lot of these port beggars is going to tell you they've always been third-party distributor. They've always put their games on every platform. I don't like the picking and choosing. You make a game, you make one game, you make it for all. You see, you make it for all because you want to get all the money. But apparently somebody didn't teach you guys how to count. Because if it's 3 players in the field, then I'm going to get 3 players weapons. You know why? Because I'm just the arms dealer. I'm just the one that's selling. That's it. The only goal for Square Enix was to be profitable. How are you profitable just taking your mainline franchises and placing them only on PlayStation? A hustler's mentality is to be every block, every place at all times. You don't sleep. You don't take time to eat. All it is for you is the hustle. Square lost the hustle. Oh yeah, all green, everything. Yeah, because the Swami is in the building. Feel me, baby. No diddy. So they're doing all this restructuring and they have this aggressive plan to capitalize on putting their games everywhere. Nintendo, PC, and good old Xbox. Come here, Sony. Have a seat. Not as big as you thought you was, eh? But I told you, Bucky, it was going to come down to this. It's either going to be me or you. I want you to become an app first. So let's put this together. The biggest reason for owning a PlayStation console is exclusives that you can only get no other place but the PlayStation console. Exclusives. PlayStation believed this so much they went out and they paid for time exclusive or exclusivities in games, excluding it from other platforms. Backhanded, dirty, underhanded deals. So check this out. That came back to bite him in the ass. Yeah. Square. You signed a deal with old buddy. Old buddy dropped off the bag, didn't think you was going to count the money. And you was like, yo, Playboy, it seems to be a little light here. What's up? Actually, it's 140 million light. What's up? And Sony get the hemming and hawing. And we didn't sell exactly what we thought we was going to sell because basically, but people want a PlayStation 5. Really? Do they really want it? I believe everybody that really wants it already have it. I don't really believe that people want it at all. Like, you want me to believe so bad that nobody wants Xbox. I don't think nobody wants you. Recent AMD sales numbers explains that you're not desired as you thought you was. Square relying heavily on the money that you were supposed to bring back because they were betting on you, bit them in the arse. Now, Square is scraping and scrambling, daddy. It's a sad part of life when a company realizes what their identity was supposed to be from the beginning and not this made up identity. Oh, but this has consequences, you see. Now, this is not isolated only to Square. This is industry-wide. The industry was too high on a hog when the pandemic hit and everybody was buying games because they was home. The numbers are leveling out. And those that believe the pie in the sky story that was told to them that this will last for a long time or that he was going to make it last forever. Well, now, it's not lasting forever, and that is done. So now, they have to make cuts. Square has internally spoke to the US and the EU about making cuts coming soon. Job cuts. Now, this is the part in the video where I'm not going to glorify laughing and having fun with anybody losing their job. I keep that same energy. I don't find it funny. I don't find it cute. I've been on the receiving end of being fired, and I have had to fire numerous people or let go, if you will, because they did nothing wrong. It was just the pandemic that destroyed my companies. And do you know how heartbreaking that is? So that's why I was melancholy that day when I was explaining about what was going on. You guys don't really understand unless you have experienced it firsthand by either you being fired or you having to give bad news to individuals through no fault of their own. They will no longer have a home with you. So, I'm going to tell you something. And this is how it's going to go. I believe Final Fantasy 16 comes over because Final Fantasy 16 did not sell the numbers that they needed it to sell. I believe Forspoken makes its way over. And all these games I'm talking about making its way over to Xbox. I believe Foam Stars makes its way over because Foam Stars is good for Game Pass. But I know y'all sitting here like, no, please, King. I believe in my heart of hearts that you get a double package bonus of Remake and Rebirth this year. And you get an announcement of it. I believe Kong will die this generation. They messed with one of the baddest CEOs to ever work in the tech landscape, software, hardware landscape. Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, first of his name. I told you when this fight started, he's pure Spartan. He will finish the fight. Reggie's gone. Sean is gone. Sean's replacement is gone. Jim Ryan. Bowser's playing very nice with Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, first of his name. Because Bowser signed that deal. And Bowser kept his mouth shut in court while Jim was ratting, snitching, and lying. Dirty underhanded tactics, if you ask the king. But Jim is no longer an issue. Jimmy boy is swimming with the fishes. You see? Either you play ball or you become the ball. And you get played with. Pause. No Diddy. Square. All those games. The whole slate is coming over to Xbox. Well, this is the part in the video when I'm going to tell you to like, follow, and subscribe. And I'm going to throw that logo on Square. We got you, baby. Told you. We different. I beat you and hide the Bible if God's watching. Try to play the Game Pass.